entertainment, coming to you live with your host for tonight, Mr. Barth Gimbel. Tonight, Barth's guest will be Uncle Sam Jr., who will shoot off his mouth on your face. Mrs. Candy Lee Hargrove, who will practice birth control until she gets it right. Donnie Kahn, who made $1 million with his honker. And Happy Kind and the Mirth Makers. And me, I'm Jerry Hubbard. And now here's your host and mine, Mr. Barth Gimbel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to Fernwood Tonight. You know, this program is usually just plain, straight-ahead, great entertainment. And I don't like to let its basic purpose be perverted by letting it get embroiled in politics. There's more than enough of that on the news. But, and this is politics, I'm afraid, we've got a new police chief in town, Chief Donald Boyne. And just from the couple of meetings I've had with him to discuss the hobby some of his officers have taken up, which is collecting celebrity autographs on trumped-up speeding tickets. Can you believe it? I have to say, though, that this guy in blue is a super chief, and he's on the right track. Excuse me. He's tough, he's honest, and he loves the show. What more can you ask? And he's got a rough job, actually, which is why he felt that maybe I owed it to him to remind you about that special election coming up in a couple of weeks. There's an important, I think, a very important proposition that directly affects Chief Boyne and his ability to protect each of us from all of the rest of us, as well as from anybody else who needs protecting. Right. It's that tax override to buy a paper shredder for the police department. They need it. Some people are afraid that the police department might just want to destroy their records to cover up some of the rumors about gifts and corruption. No. Chief Boyne has personally explained to me that the equipment is to be used only for the destruction of confidential material. You know what I mean by that. Now, do what the whole Fernwood gang is doing, okay? And vote yes on Proposition 1. There. That's 3 minutes. That ought to do it for the speeding ticket and running the stop sign. Yeah. We'll take care of that left turn later in the week. Hi, Jerry. You're here.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Hubbard, ladies and gentlemen.
I like to jump on that ship just as it's pulling away from the dock.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you got here. Did you drive in tonight?
No. I take the bus in.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I have a little celebrity pass. Allows me to ride that bus gratis.
Oh, just like the Golden Ages or something?
Yes.
It's full gratis. It's not even cut rate.
Well, no, there it is cut rate. I like to call it gratis. So, but it is a celebrity, kind of a celebrity pass.
Really?
And I like it, yeah.
So you just sit there in the back and watch the world go?
No, I like to sit up in the front in the coach's seat, I always call it. It's when our football team used to go on road trips, that's the seat the coach sat in, right up in the front,
yeah.
So you look out the window there, and you kind of feel like you're in control. And I talked to the driver, Barry Greavy, and, you know, I keep him
Is
company.
he allowed? You're not supposed to talk to the driver. I've read that.
This is between you and me. You are not allowed to converse with the driver while the bus is in motion.
Oh, but at the stops?
But just entre nous, between you and I. I do. Yeah, I talk to him, and besides, I help him out a lot. You know, they only take correct change.
Sure.
So you'd be surprised how many times he has to say to passengers, correct change only, and sometimes he gets a little tired of that, so I jump in, yeah. And I say, hey, he only takes correct change.
Well, you hear that professional announcer's voice, they go, ooh, I'm sorry.
Well, some of them do, but you'd be surprised how at the end of a 20-minute ride, how many times I've had to say, hey, pal, it does so happen to be my business.
That's great.
It's a general rebelliousness with people, you know, but we kid a lot. It's so far, no blows have been struck.
That's great. You call it the coach's seat. I remember we had a track team, and you know those racks up there, they always put the equipment up there when you're going to the track meet.
Yeah.
Guy in the back put his shot put up there, you know, and the coach is sitting in the front. Well, he hit the brakes like a son of a gun. That thing started rolling, you know, and it came right down. It killed him.
Did it?
It was incredible.
We
had no coach.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
You don't really need a coach in track, though. Just go out and run or
not
throw
really that badly. Yeah, we did pretty well. We got second in the state.
Really?
Yeah, for no coach. That's something. We maybe could have gotten first if he'd lived, but well, that's it.
How far did that shot put go then? That must have been quite a roll.
We didn't measure it. I don't even know if it's a record or not.
Regulations
the entire length of a bus. Probably farther than we could throw it.
Yeah.
Thank God. Had those racks. Should get on with the show. You know, in only 2 short visits to Fernwood tonight, Vernon Taylor, our own Vernon Taylor, has established himself, I think, as a poet and a patriot to be reckoned with, if not be a little bit worried about. Would you please welcome a man we call Uncle Sam Jr., but I prefer to call him Mr. Vernon Taylor. Yeah.
You know, guns can't talk. But I got to wondering the other day what this little fella would say if he could talk. About all the people who want to take him away from me. Well, I imagine the letter he might write to all of us. I call it Man's Best Friend Speaks Out. I am a gun. When my master doesn't need me, I sleep quietly in his drawer next to the bullets. But whenever danger approaches, I'm on the alert, ready to have my nose pointed at anyone who threatens my master. But now I hear some bad people in New York want to take me away from my master. They want to put me in a vat with a lot of other guns and melt us down to make tin cans for chicken mothball soup. Or maybe little badges for hippies that say, "We love John Denver." Well, my master has to cut down his trees for firewood because he can't afford to buy oil at the prices the Arabs are charging, so they can buy their own guns and take over the Jews, who are the very ones over here who are helping the vote to have me melted down. Well, how do you figure them apples? But who cares what I think? I'm just a gun. And unlike some politicians, I can't shoot off my mouth. But I'll tell you one thing. My friends and fellow guns were here when this nation was carved out of Indian wilderness. And we'll be going along to the moon as soon as man is more serious business up there than golf balls. So, until they take me away, I'm staying with my master. Because unlike Roy Rogers, my trigger will never need to be stopped. Yours, Vernon's gun. Thank you. For my next little number, I'd like to do a little favorite of mine, and hopefully it's Clyde McCoy's favorite, too. Sugar Blues.
Heck of a job.
Thank you very much.
I'd love to see you blow your brains out, really. It's,
call it that.
Well, the great thing you have there, if you blow your speech, you can always just blow your horn. That's terrific. How do you write those things, Vern? Pencil?
Yes. Sometimes in crayon so that I can burn them up later, you know. Because notes, I'm not too much of a note man. I'm an ad-libber. You know what that means?
Sure,
I'm sure you,
sure.
Jerry. You know what that means.
When you just say something right off the top of your head, whether it makes any sense or not.
Well, it's not like your funny lines, you know. It comes from out of nowhere.
I was kind of curious. Have you ever thought, since you are quite obviously, well, a better than mediocre horn player, of setting music to some of your speeches? I think that might be a nice idea, that you could put a songbook or even make an album.
Could you give me that again?
Take some of those speeches and maybe set it to trumpet music so other people could perform them.
Oh, well, someone else blow the trumpet while he's talking. I thought it'd be quite a job to do, to blow and talk at the same time. He'd have his hands full or his mouth full. One of the
Well, you could have a group.
Yeah, that's true.
I can hardly keep up with your quips.
Sounds like
Anyway, I just play the trumpet and I, you know, and do a lot of saluting.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you want to go eat now, so, Okay, so I think we're going to just say we'll be right back after these important words. Stay with us. Thanks. We're back. That's Happy Kine over there and the Mirth Makers. Aren't they somewhat good? We love them. They know the scale, and they're willing to work for it, which is quite nice. Our next guest has been with us before, and she's here again. That makes her here before as well. From the Fernwood Fascinating Female League. Boy, there's a mouthful, huh? Shall we please welcome Candy Lee Hargrove. Okay.
You are
Stay
a
where you are.
vision tonight, Candy. Wow.
Thank you.
Television. That's
Good.
Candy Lee, I guess with the hot weather coming up and like that, your meetings of the Fascinating Female League, did I say it right?
Pretty good.
Okay. You must be dealing with subjects like how to put cool things in salad or new uses for halter straps and things like that. Am I right?
Maybe you've gotten us all wrong, Barth.
Maybe.
But fascinating females are about a lot more than things to cook and things to wear.
Okay. Like what subjects you discussed, for example?
Well, like just last week we were discussing, I get so excited over discussing the subject of birth control.
It's disgusting.
No.
Discussing. I'm sorry.
Discussing, yes.
Well, what's the problem here? You just learn to say no, don't you?
No, there is a problem there. And so what we decided to do was we sent one of our fascinating females home. We said, go home, read Dr. Joyce Brothers' article on birth control and the body. And then we told her to underline the important parts of the article and underline the parts of the body. So then she came back to the meeting and we discussed the parts that she underlined, and then we took a vote and voted on her favorite parts.
So I don't think we need to find those out. So you girls basically are doing all the family planning yourself. Don't you think that that men should have the responsibility of maybe birth control on their shoulders too?
No, we don't want it on their shoulders or on any of the parts of the body that we underlined.
You underline.
We think that at a time like that, a man has enough on his mind without having to worry about birth control. If the woman is the bakery, then we should be able to decide what goes in the oven.
I don't know. We agree, ladies? I don't know. What do you think? That's wonderful. Any other mottos?
Bumper stickers. Yes, another one is it's better to be safe than stupid.
Okay. We can all agree with that.
Yeah, so anyway, after all that voting and everything, we were just so exhausted, we decided that we just better wind up all that heavy birth control discussion.
Sure.
So we finished the meeting by discussing new and exciting ways to use fruit cocktail.
It's actually kind of good, though, because if your birth control methods don't work, whatever you're using, you know, it's a good idea to have these food tips in case there is another mouth to feed. You know what to feed it.
That's true.
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
and no one's perfect.
That's true. Have you tried or discussed the new sulfa drug, sulfa denial?
Can you get that without a prescription?
I think you can get it without a prescription. It's just like St. Joseph's aspirin for children, which is the one the Catholics have been using for years.
Oh, well...
Not for
if
children, I'm sorry.
worse
St. Joseph's aspirin, not for
comes
children.
to worse. If everything, when all else fails, we'll try that one.
Okay, fine.
Sounds like a real low priority.
Well, it's sort of a last-ditch effort, I guess, if you're in a hurry.
Uh-huh.
And we are in a bit of a hurry. It's been wonderful chatting with you. We'll be right back after these words. Stay with us. I learned we have a very famous composer living right here in our midst. He's been with us for 3 years. Surprise of surprises.
Here in Fernwood?
Absolutely. Back in 1956, he wrote and recorded an actual million-selling record with his group called the Playmates. We asked him to come on the show, and he accepted, which shows he doesn't need the money. So here he is to sing his classic composition. Please welcome Mr. Donnie Kahn.
Wow,
Riding in my Cadillac, what to my surprise, a little Nash Rambler was following me, about 1/3 my size. The guy must have wanted to pass me out as he kept on tooting his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. I pushed my foot down to the floor to give the guy the shake, but the little Nash Rambler stayed right behind. He still had on his brake. The guy must have wanted to pass me up as he kept on tooting his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. My car went into passing gear and we took off with Gus. Soon we were doing 90, must have left him in the dust. When I peeked in the mirror of my car, I couldn't believe my eyes. The little Nash Rambler was right behind. I think that guy could fly. Now we're doing 110. There certainly was a race. For a Rambler to pass a caddy would be a big disgrace. The guy must have wanted to pass me out as he kept on tuning his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Now we're doing 120 as fast as I could go. The Rambler flew alongside me as if I were going slow. The guy rolled down his window and yelled at me to hear, "Hey buddy, how can I get this car out of second gear?"
Donnie!
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hey, fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, you forgot your horn.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
Happy. Well, you're on camera and you spoke. I guess we have to pay you now. Nice going. Nice slip up, Happy. Gee.
I'll lie down.
Oh, you'll be fine. Terrific. I guess if that sold 1 million copies, that explains how...
4 right here in Fernwood.
4 million
No,
copies?
4 copies.
Oh, 4 copies, right. That explains, I think, 1 million record sales explains how a lot of elections turn out like they do. If there are 1 million people out there that'll buy that, that's amazing. Fabulous. You must have paid the rent for a while, huh?
Well, I'm just very happy with the song. It was my life. Beep Beep was my life.
Can you tell us how did, now you're calling it still just Beep Beep?
Yes, it's
Okay.
Beep Beep.
How did Beep Beep get written?
Well, actually, it goes back to the days of the standard transmission. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was attending the University of Connecticut, which was a small agricultural college, and I was majoring in animal husbandry until they caught me at it.
Oh, there's a song right there.
And one night, it was during the final exams. I just couldn't get to sleep, and I finally went off to sleep, and my mind kept turning circles, and I woke up, and the words came to me, beep, beep. Just a revelation right there.
The words rather than the sounds.
Well, just beep, beep. And I went back to sleep, and I slept the rest of the night very peacefully, and that was it.
Can you imagine? He wrote a 1 million selling record in his sleep overnight.
No, that was just beep, beep. It took me actually 3 years to write the song. There was a lot of research to do, and everything had to be perfect, every line perfect. It was just, it was my life. I just dropped everything and just dug into it, and that was it. Beep, beep all the way.
It's amazing how close those songs, I mean, you wrote them, how different it could have gone one way or the other. Being an animal husbandry, you could have awakened thinking of sheep, and it could have been a whole different song.
That isn't quite catchy.
Or
There's not...
sleep, anything.
No, it's not catchy. You see, being a songwriter, I know obviously what's catchy.
If it had a speech defect, it would be meep, meep.
That's right, yes.
Kind of curious why you would knock over your axe.
This actually was the original horn used on the recording session.
Is that right,
Yes,
really?
it's going in the Guinness Book of Records.
That was the original one?
Sure, Jared. In fact, I'd like to give it to you. It's just something I just give away.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm selling them, though. I have putting them in some of the variety stores downtown. They'll be in sale.
That's fantastic.
225. We're selling for 225.
Jerry! Why don't you put it under your cushion and bounce on it?
See, it deserves a lot more respect than we're getting here now with it.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't work. Not like a whoopee cushion. No. Oh!
Let me try it.
Oh, Vern, okay.
Why don't you go get something to eat together? Excuse me, Donnie, after the remarkable success of Beep Beep, why didn't you write any others?
Well, that's it. I figured that I've done my share, my contribution to society, and it's just like Graham Bell, did he go out and invent another phone? You know, one thing you do, and it makes a mark in society, that's it. Why blow it, you know?
He
Why-
has 2 phones.
Yeah.
He has 2 phones, Graham Bell does. If it's the same Graham Bell I'm thinking of, he's got a princess in the hall and a regular one in the bedroom.
Throw own phone in the bathroom.
Well, it's been so close to amusing talking to you, and I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank my guests tonight. Vernon Taylor, very inspirational. Candy Lee, very inspirational yourself. Donnie, I don't know what to say except very inspirational. Happy kind of mirth makers, the old inspirers themselves, and very perspirational Jerry Hubbard. We'll be right back tomorrow night. See you then. Bye.